Civil engineers are responsible for managing, organizing, designing, and building infrastructure projects all over the world. They actually help design and create roads, buildings, tunnels, and airports, among many other types of projects, too. The University of Texas Cockrell School of Engineering is among one of the most competitive engineering colleges in the entire country. And the civil engineering major is actually one of the most popular majors within the colleges, too. So join me as I speak with Braden Gardella, one of my former scholars studying civil engineering at the University of Texas. Welcome, Horns. Before I really dive right into this interview, the reason why I selected Braden to talk with everybody is because so many of you all are going to be looking at STEM-based programs, specifically engineering programs, and these are among the most competitive programs on any college campus, any university, especially at the University of Texas. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and kind of go over a few things with you and allow Braden to really kind of share his opportunities and how things have gone for him at UT. Braden, why don't you just kind of start off and let us know a little bit about, how the semester has gone for you. He's a first-year student at UT, the University of Texas. He is in the Cockrell School of Engineering, studying civil engineering. Braden, tell me a little bit about why you picked this major, why you want to be a civil engineer, and maybe what some of your career goals are.
Yeah. My family, when I was growing up, we traveled the country in an Airstream for 3 years. So we were kind of always on the road and stuff, always kind of adventuring out. And while we were on the road and stuff, I just kind of noticed things in infrastructure and stuff. I'd always look at how roads kind of connect to each other, how intersections work, that stuff. I would always be obsessed kind of looking at bridges and how they all connected, and how they kind of worked. And so that really was kind of the underlying passion. Kind of beneath me and stuff that kind of led me to go into civil engineering and stuff. And it wasn't until I got in a car crash on the 4th of July, I believe it was in 2018, was really when I wanted to really dive in and really work on civil engineering, to specifically in the transportation area, just because I really wanted to help with roadways and intersections and stuff, and really dive deep into that. And so the first semester at UT in the Cockrell School of Engineering has been absolutely awesome. All the teachers I have are super passionate about what they're teaching. Specifically, my general civil engineering class, we got to design a dorm from the ground up, which was really amazing experience. Whether using CAD or just learning how to work as a team, it was just a really amazing and fun experience, even though it was all online.
I remember whenever we were working together on your essays, and you actually wrote your essay about the car accident that you were involved in, and you talked about the intersection and the structure and all of that, right?
Yeah, I definitely, in the days and weeks after, I definitely went back to the intersection and just kind of looked at it and kind of just saw what had caused that accident, what had would have been at fault and stuff. And what I deduced is that there was limited visibility in that stuff. But even not even that, there's so many intersections, so many problems within the infrastructure, and not only in Austin, but just globally and stuff that needs to be reworked, especially in developing countries and stuff as they increase their infrastructure and GDP.
That's amazing. So, and I love the Airstream story because I mean that allowed you to really get a lot of exposure from so many different states and all that kind of stuff. So, what are some issues that you're noticing in today? I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but what are some things that you're noticing? Related to transportation, infrastructure, roads. Is there anything in particular that you would like to?
Yeah, I just recently read an article about this because I thought it was very interesting. Looking at the rural infrastructure is something really interesting because a lot of the time people just think, oh, you just need to scale down city infrastructure and stuff and suburban infrastructure and just kind of connect roads. But you do have to think that the population-wise, the majority of rural people are going to be of those of elderly age and stuff, and a lot of them do need public transportation and stuff. And as you get more out into the rural areas, you don't really have access to that and stuff. And a lot of the times the transportation is designed for mobility, even though a lot of people don't have accessibility to using this transportation. So I think going into the future, really increasing public transportation, really increasing the accessibility so everyone can use these roadways is going to be something very big and very up and coming.
Wow, awesome. And tell me, I mean, so you're at the University of Texas, which has among one of the most competitive engineering schools to get into in the entire country.
Mhm.
Aside from the fact that you, I mean, that was obviously a huge accomplishment in itself. What made you decide to want to go to UT?
So UT, just living in Austin, and just being around that and being on campus and stuff. Anytime I would go downtown or go to a football game, the community there was just so strong, so passionate, and really it was just the people there and stuff. Just being able to already have that atmosphere of being on campus, living in Austin, and not only that, just the fact that the civil engineering college there is just so well renowned, so amazing. The fact that it was also state tuition too is something that you just can't really turn away from.
Yeah, good. Now tell me a little bit about high school. I mean, what are some of the activities you did in high school to help you prepare for this? What were some of your favorite classes?
Mhm. So I definitely a lot of the classes, although they weren't directly civil based, I definitely wanted a broad overview of everything, so I would be able to have knowledge about because as civil engineering, there are a lot of different avenues in that. There's transportation, there's structural, there's geotechnical. So I really wanted to have a good foundation. So I really wanted to spread out my course load, so I'd be able to have general knowledge in all fields and stuff. But also just working as a team is something I really need to work on as I grew up and struggled a lot with social anxiety and stuff. And the fields of civil engineering, a lot of the times you are working as a team, you really have to have those team like workflows and just being able to work with other people and stuff. So I definitely put myself into clubs and force myself to talk to people, teach people how to unicycle, how to juggle. Really just wanted to build my social interaction and stuff, so I'd be able to better myself in the workplace.
Oh my God, I totally forgot that you knew how to do the unicycle.
Yep.
Okay, now I need to know about that. Did you teach yourself how to do that or how
Yeah,
did
I did. So in the Airstream, I remember my dad, he just started juggling three apples and I was like, oh, I need to know how to do that. So I taught myself how to juggle. After about 5 years, I was like, all right, I gotta learn how to unicycle. And that was something that I wanted to do for a while and stuff. And I can actually unicycle and juggle at the same time, which took some extra practice. But yeah, unicycling is something that I've just allowed me to kind of clear my head, get away from it all, and just kind of be with my thoughts and stuff and not focus on the crazy world around me.
Cool. Okay, so tell me what this past semester, tell me, what's your favorite class or what class are you looking most forward to?
So I would say my favorite class would have to be Paranoid Peoples. It was this class about analyzing conspiracies and looking at the American and Russian culture and the difference between their conspiracies. It was really interesting, really thought provoking, especially as it didn't really relate to the field of study that I'm focusing on, which is civil engineering. It was definitely something that I could open my eyes up to, and it was a writing flag too. So we had to write these essays analyzing conspiracies, and it was something just really thought provoking, really interesting, looking at how people's brains really work and how society really functions as a whole.
Okay, cool. So, why don't you tell us what high school did you attend, and was there any particular teachers that had a positive impact in your learning experience? Do you want to give them a shout out?
Yeah. So I went to LASA, which is here in Austin, the Liberal Arts of Science Academy. And I would say there was one teacher in particular that really stood out to me, and I really want to stay connected with him. His name is Nino December, and he was an amazing teacher. He taught apes. He used to be in the Army and served for 5 years. He's just a really amazing person. And who has a chance to meet him, it's absolutely a privilege to just talk to him and have a conversation with him. He is so knowledgeable, and he has done so much in his lifetime, and he continues to do so much. And we were working on a trash and waste management system, and I believe it was Uganda, but that sadly got canceled due to COVID. But I really would like to reach out back to him and try and get that started up again so we can get that project finished.
Wow, he sounds amazing. He sounds really interesting. So
Yeah.
listen, Braden, a lot of people approach the college planning process at different, during different, grades in high school at different levels. Some already know where they want to go to college. Some don't know where they want to go to college. Some have no clue how to write an essay and all that. What advice do you have for folks that are thinking about applying to college? Do you have any advice for folks being since you just went through this whole crazy process?
Yeah, I would say get started as early as possible. I personally started a little late and I kind of had to rush through stuff and really be on top of stuff and really schedule stuff. So I'd say start as early as you can. Start looking at colleges, do college visits, so you get a feel of what it's like on campus because you can read all about it, you can look at pictures and stuff, but you really don't know how the community is until you really get on that campus. Also, just be thinking about what to write your essays about. Really think about how you want to structure yourself and really put yourself forward, as a lot of times in universities, this is how they get to know you. A lot of the times at some college, not all universities do interviews and stuff. Also, I personally wasn't going to apply to UT Austin, but Dale here, he pushed me to just apply and just see what happened. And I got in. And so I guess my advice for that would be, even if you don't think you can reach one of your goals, always strive for the highest goal that you can. Even if you don't get in, at least you tried. At least you know that you had that possibility and that opportunity.
Wow. Well, Braden, I'm just so incredibly proud of you, dude. I mean, you worked so hard during the entire application process, and you're right. Everybody out there needs to really aim high. Even if you don't think you're going to get into any school or program, the most important thing you can do is at least try. You never know where you're going to end up.
You never know.
You will never, you'll always end up at the right place. So, just keep doing big things, stay connected. I'm going to say hook 'em horns from the past president of the Alumni Association, LA chapter, to you. Well done, man. Proud of you, and stay in touch. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You, dude. Bye.